1 year ago, I started learning Unity and wanted to develop and release my first mobile game. At the time, I didn't really have a game idea, but when I was having trouble with my Wi-Fi one day, I came across a Chrome no internet page and had a thought. Why not remake the Chrome Dino game, but add color, new characters, music, and more? And so this is the making of Dino Adventures. To get started, I created my Unity project and designed my first Dino character. I then created a simple scene, added our character, and wrote a script to make the player jump. Next, I designed a cactus as my first obstacle and wrote a script to continuously spawn them in front of the player. The player can now jump over obstacles, but I had no way of dying or restarting, so that's what I worked on next. I created a simple main menu and a game over screen that allowed the player to restart. Now that the game was replayable, I wanted to add a variety of obstacles. So I designed 3 more obstacles in Sprite and updated my spawner script to randomly choose them when spawning. At this point, the game felt a bit too easy, so I made the speed of the obstacles increase over time. Next up was adding a score system, so I added text to display the player's score at the top of the screen and made it increase over time. I also displayed the player's current score and their high score in the game over screen. Once I had the basic mechanics down, I wanted to improve the visuals, so I created a new background, 2 layers of hills, and a sand texture for the ground. I added them into the scene and made the layers move in different speeds to create a parallax effect, and this is how it turned out. The top of the screen looked empty, so I created some cloud sprites and made them spawn in varying heights and sizes. The game was looking a lot better now, so I worked on player animation next. I opened up Sprite and created a running animation with 3 frames and added it to our player. Next, I wanted to give the player another objective during the game, so I added coins that would allow them to unlock new characters. I designed a coin with a spinning animation and made them spawn in between and above obstacles. I then added text to display the count of coins, and this is how it turned out. Next, I worked on adding a pause menu. I added a pause button to the game screen, added text, and allowed them to go back to the main menu or continue playing. At this point, the game didn't have any audio, so that's what I worked on next. I had no experience creating my own music, so I found a retro 8-bit sound for the background music to match the overall style of the game, as well as some jumping and coin sound effects. I added all these to the game, so here's a short clip. I realized the audio could be overwhelming at times, so I created a settings page and options to disable them. It was time to add new characters the player can unlock, so I asked my followers on TikTok to provide suggestions, and well, this happened. I ended up creating 12 characters in total, including Dino from the original game, and added running animations for all of them. Next, I created a shop screen where the player can unlock and switch characters. I then created a UI element to display the sprite and a button to use a character or a lock icon and price if it's unlocked. And finally, it was time to test it out. Next, I wanted to improve the game over scene when a player hits an obstacle, so I made the character flash and created a tombstone animation that appears from the ground. I wanted to add a competitive aspect to the game, so I implemented leaderboards, which turned out to be pretty simple with the Unity plugin I found. I added a button to the main menu and the plugin handled the integration with Game Center and Google Play services. I wasn't hoping to generate a lot of revenue from this project since it was my first game, but I added some monetization with Unity's ad system. I implemented two types of ads, the first being interstitial ads that would appear every 4 or 5 games. And second, rewarded ads in exchange for free coins or a second chance when the player dies. At this point, the game was finally nearing completion, but I still didn't have a name, so this time I asked my Discord members to provide suggestions. We eventually settled on Dino Adventures, but when I was looking for similar games in the Google Play Store, I found another game already existed with this name. There, that was better. After I had the name down, I tested the game on different screen sizes and made some final polishing and bug fixes. And finally, after 3 months of work, I released the game on the App Store and the Google Play Store. The links will be in the description if you want to try it out. Overall, this project was a great learning experience for me, and it was fulfilling to complete and release the first game I worked on. There were a lot of other features that I wanted to add, such as different maps, customizable characters, or power-ups, but after the initial release and the weeks of patching bugs that followed, I was pretty burnt out and wanted a break from this project. I also had a lot of messy code that I didn't want to look back at. I might come back to this project in the future once I improve my skills, but I'm happy with the current state. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you next time.